It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. I've been raking up off these niggas for a minute now. Hey, y'all gonna learn to listen one way or another though. Hey, let's get it. Let me show you how I keep the money coming. Strapped up like he check, nigga run it. In the mirror, yeah, I love what I'm becoming. Ain't no discussion, but don't make me spit your onion. Hey, let me show you how I keep the money coming. Strapped up like he check, nigga run it. In the mirror, yeah, I love what I'm becoming. Ain't no discussion, but don't make me split your onion. Flashback to the days, I was in the days. I was sleeping on the couch, couldn't nobody stay. I was serving up the chicken, couldn't get a raise. Now I'm cooking up the game like I'm Bobby Flay. Fuck rap, I ain't got no friends in this shit. Put them M's to the front like a Benz in this shit. I be swimming through the money, got some fans in this shit. I be stomping through the street like some Timbs in this bitch. Made trends in this shit, but some IOUs, but I don't lose. Construction high, tighten them screws. Tie up my shoes, back on the block, straight to the bag, ho. Jumping off the porch for that green like a tadpole. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this afternoon. All right, we've been waiting for a nice little minute to see what UMG was going to say in response to Drake. Of course, he's got the lawsuit against them. He's also got the petition or whatever the hell they want to call it out there in Texas. But of course, he filed federal civil RICO against UMG. Of course, in his lawsuit, he's got Kendrick Lamar's name riddled all through it. He's got his lyrics riddled all through it. Got streamers, got all types of people included in it. We've been waiting on an official statement from UMG. Drake and his legal team have been urging for UMG to show up in pretrial conferences, and basically just show up to hearings and try to move this thing forward to get into the discovery phase where they can start presenting evidence on Drake's behalf to basically give cause to the reason why he's suing them. Any evidence that he feels he has in terms of payola, any evidence he feels he has in terms of striking deals with Spotify to amplify Not Like Us versus not amplifying his music. And basically what he's saying is the entire industry or all of the major players in the industry have colluded together in the destruction of Drake. So now we finally have UMG's motion to dismiss. Again, we've been waiting for this for quite some time. They waited until the very last day of the deadline, which is today, and they came in hot. Not only did they submit a motion to dismiss, but I'm over here in the official docket. They have a memorandum of law in support of motion to dismiss, and they have about 26 documents here showing why this should be dismissed. And they're using Protect Black Art petition. They're using they're using his own diss tracks as collateral. They're using all of Kendrick Lamar's diss songs in response. They're using the Grammys. They're using news clippings from USA Today, The Guardian, New York Post, Complex, and all over to show that they engaged in a back and forth beef. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get to the paperwork, because it's not, it's going to be a long situation. All right, here we go. So they say, Arby Graham plaintiff versus UMG Recordings, notice of motion and motion to dismiss. Oral argument requested. Please take notice that pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B6 and upon the accompanying memorandum of law, request for judicial notice and declaration of Roland A. Ransom, defendant UMG Recordings, Inc. respectfully moves this court before the Honorable Jeanette A. Vargas at the United States Courthouse for the Southern District of New York, located at blah, 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 for an order dismissing the complaint for failure to state a claim. Okay, so this is their initial filing, and then we're going to get into their memorandum of law, which goes into more details. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the beginning of their memorandum of law. You remember in Drake's lawsuit, the first thing he did was put a quote of Lucian Grange. As a matter of fact, let me go pull that up just so y'all can see the levels of petty that they're getting into here. So this was Drake. He says, a single lie can destroy your reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes, right? And that's a quote directly from Sir Lucian Grain, CEO of UMG, a year ago, back March 25th, 2024. Now, UMG, in their motion to dismiss, they come back and they go, yeah, I want it all. That's why I strive for it. This me, you never hear a reply for it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember Successful? That was during the time when Drake had them funny rapper hands where he kept going like this. Yeah. So they say Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked. Ooh. Lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. These motherfuckers, coming. In the spring of 2024, two of the most popular recording artists in the world, Kendrick Lamar and Aubrey Drake Graham, engaged in a high-profile rap battle. Over the course of approximately 2 months, they exchanged increasingly vitriolic and incendiary diss tracks, sometimes responding within hours of each other. That's a motherfucking fact. Drake encouraged the feud. For example, when he felt that Lamar was taking too long to respond, Drake released a second recording in which he goaded Lamar to continue the rap battle. Lamar did just that, and collectively, Drake and Lamar released a total of 9 tracks taking aim at each other. Multiple commentators declared Lamar to be the winner of the battle. Not Like Us, the penultimate track in the feud, is the subject of the complaint. The recording and music video were released by Lamar through defendant UMG on May 4th, 2024. Not Like Us was a massive commercial and artistic success. The record was the best-selling rap recording of 2024 and won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, and the accompanying music video won the Grammy Award for Best Music Video. The song Not Like Us won the Grammy Award for Song of the Year and has become a ubiquitous cultural phenomenon. Among other things, Lamar performed the song at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show to a record audience, and Saturday Night Live parodied it in its recent 50th anniversary special. They throwing the success in your motherfucking face. They throwing the success of the record in your face. Although these are facts and they are well documented, the levels of petty have been upped. When Kendrick Lamar raps about upping the score, UMG took note. Not Like Us, like all of the recordings in the feud between Drake and Lamar, and like the many notorious diss tracks throughout rap's history, come on for rap history, consists of a series of hyperbolic insults. This is very key. Hyperbolic insults, meaning that, hyperbole is exaggeration. Exaggerated insults. Drake has been pleased to use UMG's platform to promote tracks leveling similarly incendiary attacks at Lamar, including, most significantly, that Lamar engaged in domestic abuse. This is what we've always been saying about this whole lawsuit from Drake. And that one of Lamar's business partners and managers is the true father of Lamar's son. But now, after losing the rap battle, Drake claims that Not Like Us is defamatory. It is not. While the complaint focuses almost entirely on Not Like Us, it disregards the other Drake and Lamar diss tracks that surrounded Not Like Us, as well as the conventions of the diss track genre, and thus critically ignores the context of the dispute. Assessed in context as it must be, Not Like Us clearly conveys non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole. Diss tracks are a popular and celebrated art form centered around outrageous insults, and they will be severely chilled if Drake's suit were permitted to proceed. That's a motherfucking fact. This is something that we've enjoyed. We've all been entertained by. It's a part of hip-hop tradition. It goes all the way back to the 80s. So are we supposed to end feuds in hip-hop all because Drake can't stomach a loss? Is hip-hop supposed to begin and end with Drake, who came in moseying his way into the space in 2006? I don't think so. Drake also alleges that Not Like Us constitutes second-degree harassment. Wow. but sues under a criminal statute that does not prescribe speech and has no private right of action. Finally, Drake claims that UMG's promotion of Not Like Us violates New York general business law, but fails to allege any of the elements for that claim. Notably, less than 3 years ago, Drake himself signed a public petition criticizing the trend of prosecutors using artists. Let's go. Drake himself signed a public petition criticizing the trend of prosecutors using artists' creative expression against them by treating rap lyrics as literal fact. So Drake 3 years ago signed and said, hey, we don't like the fact that y'all are trying to use rap artists' music against them in litigation. Notably, he did that on Young Thug's behalf and others in the industry, but now he's trying to enforce the very thing that he signed against to his advantage against UMG and Kendrick. See UMG's request for judicial notice example. A. As Drake recognized, when it comes to rap, the final work is a product of the artist's vision and imagination. Drake was right then and is wrong now. The complaint's unjustified claims against UMG are no more than Drake's attempt to save face for his unsuccessful rap battle with Lamar. The court should grant UMG's motion and dismiss the complaint with prejudice. And of course, with prejudice means it can't be revisited at a later time. Statement of facts. Defendant UMG is a global music company. Complaint. UMG represents more than 220 artists and brands worldwide and holds a catalog of more than 3.2 million recordings. That's massive. Now, I ain't with y'all owning all that catalog, because there are some people who are justifiably angry at y'all, but this ain't the video to go through it. UMG represents artists through inter alia recording, distributing, publishing, and third-party licensing agreements, and helps maximize their commercial success through its world-class marketing, proprietary data analytics, and global distribution network. Drake is an internationally known rap artist. Drake signed with UMG through UMG's Republic division in 2009 and extended his contract in 2022, which was the big dog deal in the upwards of somewhere between $400 and $500 million in value. Drake's partnership with UMG has been hugely successful. He is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 170 million albums sold and a series of awards and accolades, including Billboard Music's Artist of the Decade in 2021. UMG also represents Lamar through UMG's Interscope division. Lamar is a highly successful rap artist in his own right. Drake and Lamar engage in a vitriolic rap feud. Not Like Us, the recording at the center of this action, was released as a part of a rap beef between Drake and Lamar. The artist feud reportedly traces its origins back more than a decade. Yeah, let's talk about the history on this shit, right? But broke into the public domain in early 2024 when Drake and Lamar began trading diss tracks, sometimes within the same hour. Yeah, let's not act like this shit came out of nowhere. Y'all been going back and forth since 2013. Drake and Lamar's feud was not unique in the world of rap. Rap feuds where artists trade diss tracks insulting each other have existed pretty much since the beginning of rap in the 1970s. Now, I don't know who dissed niggas back in the 70s. A number of storied feuds have occurred throughout rap history, including the Roxanne Wars involving Roxanne Shante. Gotta say that name correctly. Shout out to my folks in Queens. And the rap group UTFO, as well as feuds between Nas and Jay-Z, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. Holy! Not Nicki and Meg! Drake is a prolific rap feud combatant, having traded diss tracks with a number of artists, including Pusha T and Meek Mill. Okay, so now they go back to back, which is the ultimate Drake diss, right? Back-to-back lyrics, Drake diss track and Meek Mill feud. Duppy freestyle lyrics, Drake diss track in Pusha T feud. Okay? The public feud between Drake and Lamar traces back to the October 2023 recording, First Person Shooter. Oh shit, let's get to it. The Big Three by Drake and J. Cole, in which J. Cole rapped that he, Drake, and Lamar were the Big Three, the top three rappers in the industry. Okay, first person shooter lyrics in response. Lamar appeared on the March 2024 track Like That with artists Future and Metro Boomin, in which he rejected the notion that Drake and J. Cole were his equals, rapping, "Motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just Big Me, and I'll add, nigga, bomb." Drake responded in April 2024 with the track Push Ups, distributed by UMG. Okay, the recording takes aim at Lamar insulting inter alia, his height, how the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 men's on, and pip squeak pipe down, you ain't no big three. So they got lyrical quotes in here. And his career, your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. Your last one bricked, you really not on shit. And I'm at the top of the mountain. Just to have this talk with your ass, I had to hike down. Okay? And to my understanding, Kendrick's first number one, was it? Oh, shit. What, are we talking about fucking problems? Maybe. I don't know. But that would also be ASAP in them. I don't know. So he also encouraged the feud, stating, "And that fucking song y'all got did not start the beef with us. This shit been brewing in a pot. Now I'm heating up." I thought the first one, Put It In Your Hand, was aimed at Future personally. But anyway, then seemingly impatient with the time it was taking Lamar to respond, Drake released Tailor-Made Freestyle on Instagram. Okay? The recording uses artificial intelligence, oh boy, to make it sound as if the voices of deceased rap icon Tupac Shakur and rapper Snoop Dogg are rapping Drake's lyrics. In their voices, Drake taunts Lamar for his delay. More notably, for present purposes, Drake urges Lamar, in the voice of Tupac, to talk about Drake liking young girls. "That's a gift from me." On Lamar's next track, Kendrick, "We Need Ya," "The West Coast Savior, engraving your name in some hip-hop history. If you deal with this viciously, you seem a little nervous, all about the publicity. Fuck this Canadian light-skinned dot. We need a no-debated West Coast victory. Man, call him a bitch for me. Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me. Heard it on the Button podcast. It's gotta be true." In the voice of Snoop Dogg, Drake then calls on Lamar to release a new diss track. "Damn, nephew. But still, you gotta show this fucking owl who's boss on the West. Now it's a time to really make a power move. Cause right now it's looking like you writing not the game plan on how to lose. How to bark up the wrong tree and then get your head popped in a crowded room. World is watching this chess game, but are you out of moves, nephew?" And in his own voice, Drake raps, "Since like that, your tone changed a little. You not as enthused. How you not in the booth? It feel like you kind of removed. You trying to let this shit die down? Nah, not this time, nigga. You following through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the fuck is taking so long? We waiting on you." Lamar responded with 2 tracks, Euphoria, released by UMG on April 30th, followed by 616 in LA, released by Lamar on Instagram on May 3rd. Lamar raps of Drake and Euphoria, the famous actor we once knew is looking paranoid and now spiraling, and a pathetic master manipulator. "I can smell the tails on you now. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted." He criticizes Drake's music. "I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him." Attacks his use of Tupac's voice in Tailor-Made Freestyle. He says, "I'm ready to double the wage. I'd rather do that than let a Canadian nigga make Pac turn in his grave." We know that. Attacks his parenting. "I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that." And insults his character and racial identity. He says, "I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's going to be direct." How many more fairy tales about your life till we had enough? How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? How many? Lamar's insults continue in 616 in LA, where he raps that members of Drake's OVO team are disloyal. "Have you ever thought that OVO is working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it." Gotta put the emphasis on the with Kendrick shit, you know? Drake responded approximately 14 hours later on the evening of May 3rd with the track Family Matters, distributed by UMG. So they're just going and letting people know that this is an ongoing tennis match where they're trading disses and insults at each other just to go ahead and present the framework and a legal standing to show the judge they engaged in an open forum rap battle. Kendrick did not just wake up out of his sleep one day and just start calling him a PDF out of nowhere. This is something that had been brewing for years. They finally took it up and they traded shots back and forth. So now he took the L and he can't handle the fact that Kendrick took his success from back to back and quadrupled it and effectively knocked him out of the spot he thought he had occupied for so many years. Okay? Just trying to keep this going. The track is a scathing attack on Lamar. Whoa. Drake responded approximately 14 hours later with Family Matters. The track is a scathing attack on Lamar, laden with hyperbolic slurs. Drake attacks, among other things, Lamar's authenticity, uses acting like an activist, his make-believe, mocks his height. He always said I overlooked him, I was staring straight. These bars go over Kenny's head no matter what I say. States that Lamar cheats on his fiance. Why did you move to New York? Is it because you live in that bachelor life, proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife? I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening, right? Because we know the girls that you actually like. Your darkest secrets are coming to light. And asserts that one of Lamar's children was fathered by one of his business partners and managers, Dave Free. Right? Your baby mama captions always screaming, save me. You did a dirty all your life. You trying to make peace. I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Free. Dave Free. Because if your GM is your BM secret BD, then this is all making plenty fucking sense to me. Drake also raps that Lamar physically abuses his fiance, stating, when you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she bigger than you? And they hired a crisis management team to claim the fact that you beat on your queen. The recording also makes various other allusions to violence, including gun violence. Drake opens that he has emptied the clip over friendlier jabs. Asks, which one of my so-called niggas need a share from the clip? And raps, come get this ass whooping, I'm handing them out. The track closes with Drake stating, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. Multiple gunshots also sound at various points in the recording. Very cunning. Very slick, UMG. He's making threats. He's making defamatory statements. He's using gunshot sounds in his music, in his threats. But Kendrick Lamar is the big bad villain here. Okay. Lamar responded with 2 more back-to-back tracks, Meet the Grrrls followed by Not Like Us. In Meet the Grrrls, released approximately 30 minutes after Family Matters, Lamar directs his insults to various members of Drake's immediate family and to Drake himself. Not Like Us was released on May 4th. Like the diss tracks before it, Not Like Us consists of hyperbolic insults. Lamar calls Drake names. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? And it was God's plan to show y'all the liar. Mocks Drake's OVO brand and image. What OVO for? The other vaginal option? Pussy? And what is the owl? Bird niggas and bird bitches. Makes hyperbolic threats of violence. You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac, nigga? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop, nigga. Which, Drake, you still never corrected the fact that you said that Kendrick was from Oakland. What the fuck was you on? Attacks Drake's personal relationships, including alleging that Drake had relations with rapper Lil Wayne's girlfriend. Fucked on Wayne girl while he was in jail. That's conniving. And calls him a fucking colonizer. Inferring Drake exploits other artists for fame and financial benefit. Taking up Drake's invitation and tailor-made freestyle to talk about Drake liking young girls, Lamar also makes various statements at issue in the complaint, including, say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. And why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired trying to strike a chord? And it's probably A minor. He also raps. And Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified fouls. And states, And your homeboy needs subpoena. That predator moving flocks. That name got to be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. Drake responded the following day with The Heart Part 6. There, Drake doubles down on his statement that one of Lamar's children was fathered by Mr. Free. He didn't give it up. He says, and why isn't Whitney... I forgot the lyrics to The Heart Part 6. And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. As if your best friend ain't supposed to love your child. Jesus. And like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. Wow. Breeding resentment. Wow. And reiterates his claim of domestic abuse. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. Drake states that he expected the alleged defamatory statements in Not Like Us. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected and denies them. Excuse me. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never looked twice at no teenager. The track also contains further references to violence, including I slit your throat with the razor. And yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass is in extreme danger. Since we're using rap lyrics to convict people in public and civil matters, why not just throw everybody in there, shall we? Here they say Not Like Us is a massive commercial and artistic success. Lamar is widely perceived to have won the rap feud. Ultimately, I do think Kendrick did come out on the superior end of that quarrel. This is one of their examples. We can say Kendrick has won. The New Yorker article asking, has there ever been as clear a loser as Drake? Example X, New York Times article noting Lamar's unofficially winning a high-profile diss war with Drake. Not Like Us has also been a massive commercial and artistic success. It has been heard or viewed nearly 6 billion times with a B. It was the best-selling rap song of 2024. It set multiple records, including most single-day streams for a rap song in the U.S., the fastest song to reach 300 million Spotify streams, and the most streamed song in a 7-day period with 96 million streams. Within the first week of its release, Not Like Us debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 list and ranked first on YouTube's weekly top music videos chart from July 4th to August 8th. It has maintained its popularity. On October 7, 2024, Billboard reported that the recording had reached 45.4 million in total audience impressions on radio. It has also been used in over 1.3 million videos on TikTok. God damn. Rolling Stone deemed it the biggest moment in music this year. The song, recording, and video of Not Like Us were collectively nominated for 5 Grammy Awards as voted on by over 13,000 music industry peers. For all you people saying that TDE and Kendrick are buying votes, over 13,000 motherfuckers had to vote on this shit, man. Including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Song, and Best Music Video, and won in all 5 categories. Now here they get to their argument of legal standard, right? So they basically said the other portions above said, fuck you, Drake. Now here they get to legal. They say to survive a motion to dismiss under Rule 12b-6, a complaint must plead enough facts to state a claim to relief that is plausible on its face. The court can credit only well-pleaded non-conclusory factual allegations and must disregard legal conclusions. In certain circumstances, the court may permissibly consider documents other than the complaint in ruling on a motion under Rule 12b-6, such as documents incorporated into the complaint by reference and matters of which a court may take judicial notice. Okay? And they have examples. Courts in this district have observed that there is particular value in resolving defamation claims at the pleading stage so as not to protract litigation through discovery and trial and thereby chill the exercise of constitutionally protected freedoms. That is, in defamation cases, Rule 12b-6 not only protects against the cost of meritless litigation, but provides assurance to those exercising their First Amendment rights that doing so will not needlessly become prohibitively expensive. Okay? So they're filing all of this under the First Amendment, free speech, in which they decided to go back and forth and partake in a rap battle. Not once did Drake ever say, oh my God, stop, I don't want to do this no more. So you can't say it's harassment or anything. Drake fails to state a claim for defamation. Drake, who had no concerns using UMG's platforms, oh, I love it, to publish slurs about Lamar during their rap feud, now claims that Not Like Us is defamatory. These allegations, which are directly aimed at chilling legitimate artistic expression safeguarded by the First Amendment in New York law, are meritless. Drake fails to state a claim for defamation because Not Like Us conveys non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole, not fact, and because Drake cannot adequately allege that UMG acted with actual malice. To succeed on his defamation claim, Drake must establish 1. A defamatory statement of and concerning the plaintiff, 2. Publication to a third party, 3. Fault, 4. Falsity of the defamatory statement, and 5. Special damages or per se actionability. Okay? Whereas here, the plaintiff is a public figure, he must prove that the allegedly defamatory statement was made with actual malice, that is, made with knowledge of its falsity or with reckless disregard of whether it was false. The alleged defamatory material is non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole, okay? A restatement. To be defamatory, a publication must convey fact, not opinion, or rhetorical hyperbole. Expressions of opinion as opposed to assertions of facts are deemed privileged and no matter how offensive cannot be the subject of an action for defamation. Whether a statement is fact or opinion is a question of the law for the court. To distinguish assertions of facts from non-actionable opinion, New York courts analyze 1. Whether the specific language in issue has a precise meaning which is readily understood, 2. Whether the statements are capable of being proven true or false, and 3. Whether either the full context of the communication in which the statement appears or the broader social context and surrounding circumstances are such to signal readers or listeners that what is being read or heard is likely to be opinion, not fact. At its crux, the question for the court to resolve a matter of law is what a reasonable person hearing or reading the statement would take it to mean. In this assessment, context is key. The Court of Appeals in New York has consistently focused its analysis on the overall context in which the complaint of assertions were made. This includes both the immediate context in which the disputed words appear, as well as the larger context in which the statements were published, including the nature of the particular forum. A statement's tone and apparent purpose may signal that it is not conveying an accurate factual assessment offered by a disinterested observer. For example, tone may indicate non-actionable opinion where it reflects a degree of anger and resentment. Where the tenor is rambling, heated, or speculative or often escalates into the hyperbolic. Likewise, the broader context informs whether a statement is reasonably understood to convey factual assertions. And again, we already know Kendrick called him a PDF, but Drake also called him a woman beater. Some people may not view those two as equals, but nonetheless, they were engaging in a very fair and agreed upon and understood situation. So I'm not going to read all this shit. Okay? But here they say the Second Circuit affirmed Rappaport, holding that the district court appropriately considered that the statements at issue were made in the context of a hostile, vulgar, and hyperbolic feud in which the use of epithets, vulgarities, and hyperbole function as a strong indicator to the reasonable reader that the statement is not expressing or implying any facts, which can also be, like they say, these conclusions apply here equally. Considered in context as is required, Not Like Us conveys hyperbole and opinion, not facts. Now, some people may say you could go down the rabbit hole and prove what Kendrick Lamar was saying as fact, but in the context of the rap battle, they were just slinging mud at each other. Okay? So, all of this need not be stated, right? Looking first to its tone, the 4.5 minute rap diss track consists of a series of epithets, fiery rhetoric, and hyperbole, endemic to the rap genre. Not surprisingly, given the context, the recording reflects a considerable degree of anger and resentment, and exaggerated vitriolic words pervade the recording to attack all aspects of Drake's life, including his career, authenticity, brand, relationships, and character. Exaggerated imagery in the music video reinforces that Not Like Us is not intended to reflect factual analysis. For example, the video opens with Lamar whispering to a clown that he sees dead people, a nod to the film The Sixth Sense, implying hyperbolically that Drake has been defeated in the rap battle. The video also shows Lamar beating an owl pinata with the disclaimer no OVO hoes were harmed during the making of this video and staring down an owl in a cage. And I must say, this speaks to probably why we have a Not Like Us music video and no other songs really have music videos from that time period, from that you know what I'm saying, exchange. Because Kendrick knew. He knew he was going to have to protect himself and create some sort of fictional world building to protect himself. Just like when you hear certified lover boys, certified P-Fouls, and both of them are said in the plural. So now I'm not talking about you directly. I'm talking about a group of people, right? This imagery reinforces the non-factual nature of Not Like Us. Indeed, no reasonable listener will require a disclaimer that the piñata is not literally Drake and his crew. The imagery is satirical and vitriolic, all of which signals to the audience that the video does not convey sober, factual analysis. Likewise, the album image of Drake's Toronto house is obviously doctored, further underscoring the non-factual nature of Not Like Us. Again, no reasonable viewer would believe that the image of Drake's Toronto mansion with 13 SO markers is real. The image is hyperbolic and exaggerated, conveying opinion, not fact. The broader context also reinforces that Not Like Us is non-actionable. Not Like Us did not emerge out of thin air. It was Lamar's culminating diss track and one of the nastiest lyrical warfare rap feuds in recent history. It followed the release of 7 preceding tracks in which Drake and Lamar hurled increasingly vitriolic allegations at each other, including Drake's slurs, that Lamar's son was fathered by someone else, and that Lamar cheats on and physically abuses, and they say that in italics, his fiance. If ever there was a circumstance for the audience to anticipate the use of epithets, fiery rhetoric, or hyperbole, this is it. Moreover, assessment of the broader context makes clear that Not Like Us relates to well-known controversies, that Drake himself acknowledged and perpetuated. Wow. Statements not actionable considered the overall context in which the statements were made. A reasonable listener would not have believed that the challenge statements were conveying facts about the plaintiff rather than opinion, because the statements were based on facts that were widely reported by Western New York media and were known to the listeners. Okay. Statements that plaintiff was a criminal engaged in criminal conduct, not actionable, where listeners were familiar with the issues in dispute and with the respective sides' positions. Facts and criticism concerning Drake's they going there. They taking it there. Damn, where Ice at? You take it there, I'm taking it further. Facts and criticism concerning Drake's relationship with minors predate Not Like Us and have been widely reported. So now they're saying, hey, bro, we didn't want to have to go there, but people have been talking about you for years. Wow. This is getting real. Noting that Lamar's indicting Drake for years of rumors and speculations around his misbehavior around minors, and that Millie Bobby Brown is one of the things that most people are aware of when it comes to Drake and the rumors around him. She talked about texting with Drake when she was, a minor. Notably, Drake himself called on Lamar to invoke these allegations on Taylor Made, in which he had Tupac's AI-generated voice rap that Lamar should talk about Drake liking young girls. In The Heart Part 6, Drake also affirmed that he understood Lamar's statements in Not Like Us to refer to the Millie Bobby Brown controversy, stating, "This Epstein angle was the I expected and only can with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never looked twice at no teenager." Clearly, Drake himself understands that Lamar's lyrics refer solely to well-known issues. Oh boy. You backed yourself into a dark corner, sir. Taken together with the fact that Not Like Us was released in the context of a combative and vitriolic rap diss battle, It would be obvious to even the most casual observer that Not Like Us is not an accurate factual assessment offered by a disinterested observer. In some, the tone and broader context in which Not Like Us was released makes plain that the recording, video, and album cover convey rhetorical hyperbole and opinion not based on anything beyond controversies that have been widely acknowledged, including by Drake himself. Drake fails to state an actionable claim for defamation. So they say, how can he be defaming you when you've acknowledged the very thing yourself? If you never wanted nobody to call you such a thing, why would you invite him to do it? And you're acting like he's uncovering something that was not known to the people when people have been out here speculating about you for years. Here they say Drake cannot allege that UMG acted with actual malice. Drake's defamation claim fails for the independent reason that as a matter of law, he cannot allege that UMG acted with actual malice. A public figure can only prevail on a defamation claim where clear and convincing evidence proves that a false and defamatory statement was published with actual malice, that is, with deliberate or reckless falsification. The element of actual malice in a defamation claim focuses primarily on what a defendant knew or believed at the time a purportedly false statement was made. Whoa, what are these notes here? Drake alleges that statements in Lamar's Euphoria, including "Don't tell no lie about me and I won't tell truths about you," and "I know some shit," imply that any future allegations levied by Lamar against Drake will be based in truth and undisclosed fact, not rumor or opinion. These statements are plainly too vague to ascribe such content. And Drake omits the full statement, which is that "I know some shit about niggas that make Gunna Wanna look like a saint." That has nothing to do with this case, but rather refers to the rap artist Gunna, who was criticized for allegedly snitching in a criminal case. Drake likewise understood this jab in the same way. Rapping on Family Matters can't be rapping about no ratting that we can't read. Oh damn, they say, bro, you responded directly to that lyric and it had nothing to do with what you talking about. You responded to it yourself about ratting. Moreover, Drake ignores the broader context that both parties traded these sorts of jabs. For example, Drake in Family Matters claim with respect to his own unfounded allegations that your darkest secrets are coming to light. He makes similar assertions in The Heart Part 6 rapping, "What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations?" To dismiss a defamation plaintiff must allege specific facts that plausibly evidence an actual malice in a clear, convincing manner. Courts recognize that in certain circumstances, such as works of fiction, parody, and satire, the actual malice inquiry must focus on what the publisher subjectively intended to convey. For example, where the speaker intends his statements as outrageous parodies or caricatures, there may be no consciousness that the speaker is publishing something false because the speaker does not think he is publishing a statement of fact, and therefore lacks subjective knowledge or recklessness as to the falsification of a statement of fact required to show actual malice. Right? So, again, there's some things in here that we don't necessarily have to go through. They say there is no basis for a claim that any person at UMG had the subjective intent to publish false factual statements about Drake. UMG released a rap diss track conveying fiery rhetoric and insults, not factual assessments, much less false ones. UMG engaged in the same conduct when it distributed Drake's Family Matters, in which Drake rapped Lamar engages in domestic abuse and is not the father of his son. Much like parody and satire, hyperbole, exaggeration, and insults are endemic in rap, particularly in diss tracks. So he was just following in the nature of a tradition that predates him and will live on beyond him. Rappers know that their lyrics are exaggerated and non-factual. That is part of the craft. The actual malice question is therefore what UMG intended to convey. And Drake has not alleged any specific facts plausibly evidencing in a clear and convincing manner that anyone at UMG intended to convey or indeed believed that the public would understand Not Like Us as conveying anything other than what it was, an incendiary diss track. Okay? Here they say Drake fails to state a claim for harassment in the second degree. Drake further asserts a criminal claim for harassment in the second degree. Criminal. Okay? on the theory that Kendrick Lamar issued a call to violence against Drake and Not Like Us with threats of violence, and that the song thus amounts to incitement. This claim fails for multiple reasons. First, there is no private right of action, where a penal statute does not expressly confer a private right of action on individuals pursuing civil relief. Recovery under a statute may be had only if a private right of action may fairly be implied. This requires considering whether creation of such a right would be consistent with the legislative scheme, which is not the case when there are alternative enforcement mechanisms. Section 240.26 does not satisfy this test because nothing distinguishes it from every other run-of-the-mill criminal statute that lacks a private right of action. Rarely is there a private right of action under a criminal statute. As general rule, when a statute is contained solely within the penal law section, the New York legislature intended it as a police regulation to be enforced only by a court of criminal jurisdiction. Okay? We'll skip some of this. Even if this statute did have a private right of action, the harassment claim would fail. The statute requires that UMG act with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm Drake. Okay? But at most, Drake merely asserts an intent to devalue Drake's music and brand in order to gain leverage in negotiations, which is not an intent to harass Drake. Again, the crux of all of this is that Drake feels like they lowballed him in a negotiation process. Therefore, UMG says, you ain't the top dog out here no more. You're not King Kong. There's a new champion holding the belt. Therefore, we shall not pay you the top dollar and increase what we gave you during our last negotiation process. Now, you can either get with this or you could get with that. You could get with this or you could get with that. He said, I'm getting with my lawyer. Oh, boy. And regardless, this allegation is speculative, conclusory, and illogical. Drake does not even attempt to explain how a contract with Drake would be more profitable. Ooh. Drake does not even attempt to explain how a contract with Drake would be more profitable for UMG if Drake was devalued. After all, any decreased leverage would presumably come from decreased revenues and thus decreased profits. Moreover, Drake's allegations are contradicted by his allegations that UMG had the opposite incentive with respect to re-signing Lamar. Furthermore, 240.26 does not prescribe pure speech, which is what is at issue here. Indeed, if 240.26 did prescribe speech, then it would be struck down. The New York Court of Appeals has invalidated multiple laws that purport to criminalize harassing speech. Next, even if Drake could surmount these obstacles, his claim would still fail because he cannot meet the constitutional test for incitement in any event. Under the First Amendment, incitement can be proscribed only where the speech is directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. There are two requirements. The speech must be both intended to produce and likely to produce imminent disorder. Neither is satisfied. First, even accepting Drake's nonsensical theory that UMG wanted to devalue his brand, Drake never alleges that UMG specifically intended to cause violence against him, and any such allegation would be utterly implausible. Y'all gotta understand, in this, maybe a controversial take, but UMG, they're known for devaluing a motherfucker's brand when you're not of use to them no more. They can do it in multiple ways. They can shelf your ass. You know how many artists have been shelved after having a successful run? And the fans were waiting on more music and they say, no, we don't want to pay you no more. We don't want to, you know what I'm saying? We're looking for the next you. Therefore, you're on the bench. Thank you for your service. You know what I'm saying? They can drop you when they perceive that nobody else would want you. You become a free agent and you still can't get another deal because, damn, giving you money, why would we? They know how this shit works. Now, Drake thinks he's going to come out and be Captain America, only to find out you're just another cog in the system. You were one of the biggest, if not the biggest cog in the system at one point. But we're now in a new wave. It's 2025, sir. You can't be the biggest. You can't be the biggest shit forever. And we're letting you know you're currently not the biggest shit, and you're probably not gonna exceed what you've already accomplished. So no, we're not gonna treat you like the golden goose no more. And you either gonna get with it or get left. Drake is acting out and throwing a hissy fit and decided to go civil with it. That's all this is. Okay? And they saying you're saying all of this, but nobody has incited any violence against you. So you can't go against the First Amendment right. Second, the lyrics of Not Like Us are not likely to incite or produce imminent lawless action, or even qualify as speech which alarms or seriously annoys. It is a rap diss track. Drake attempts to contort violent metaphors in the lyrics into incitement, like the sound of someone being beaten up, right? Remember the wop, 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 wop that Drake put in there? And then says Lamar will fuck him up, which is the most Karen-y thing I've ever seen in hip-hop history. He threatened to beat me up in the song. But you the one talking about you handing out ass whoopings. Make it make sense. But as explained above, hyperbolic and metaphorical language is par for the course in diss tracks. Indeed, Drake's own diss tracks employed imagery at least as violent, such as gunshot sounds. You're dead, there's nowhere to hide. I'll slit your throat with a razor. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber, your ass in extreme danger. In short, as with his defamation claim, Drake seeks to chill a form of artistic expression that he himself has embraced. Courts have rejected far stronger claims of imminent lawless action than rap diss track lyrics. Listen, get this shit the fuck out of my face. What is this? Statement that if we catch any of you going in any of them racist stores, we gonna break your damn neck, was protected speech, even though subsequently shots were fired into the home of boycott violators. Holy shit. Finally, Drake fails to allege, because he cannot, that UMG acted with no legitimate purpose in publishing and promoting Not Like Us. The phrase no legitimate purpose means the absence of a reason or justification to engage someone other than to hound, frighten, intimidate, or threaten. Here, Drake expressly alleges that UMG's motive with respect to Not Like Us were financial. Seemingly recognizing this deficiency, Drake alleges that while its initial motive was financial, UMG lost any legitimate purpose to continue its course of conduct in the face of Drake's public and private denials. But this a cursory legal conclusion. Drake's denials about the song have nothing to do with whether UMG's motivations were solely to hound, frighten, intimidate, or threaten, which by Drake's own admission, they were not. Because we was trying to get to the money. We put both y'all motherfuckers out there. Y'all could kill each other lyrically, long as we eat. Drake fails to state a claim under NYGBL. Finally, Drake purports to bring a claim under New York general business law, which he asserts UMG violated by covertly financially incentivizing third parties to play, stream, and promote the recording, and then by making materially false and misleading representations of the recording's popularity to consumers. These allegations are entirely bogus, but in all events fail to state a claim. To state a 349 claim, a plaintiff must allege that 1. The defendant's conduct was consumer-oriented. 2. The defendant's act or practice was deceptive or misleading in a material way. And 3. The plaintiff suffered an injury as a result of the deception. The counterpiece of this claim was the utterly false assertion that UMG used bots to stream Not Like Us. Drake based this theory on the claim that an anonymous individual alleged on a Twitch stream, the DJ that don't spin, that Kendrick Lamar's label, i.e. Interscope, paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 30 million streams on Spotify in the initial days following the Not Like Us release. But this claim is then directly refuted by the very source that Drake cites. In the Twitch stream, the anonymous speaker, already a dubious source, claims that he was hired by Anthony Sally, who is Kendrick Lamar's manager. UMG Interscope are never accused. Talk about a slick way to get out of it, plus we already knew it was bullshit. But he says he was hired by Kendrick's manager, not someone from UMG Interscope. So even if the claim were true, which it hasn't been proven, it ain't us, right? UMG Interscope are never accused. Critically, after UMG notified Drake's counsel of the falsity of Drake's allegation via Rule 11 letter and accompanying Rule 11 motion, Drake conceded the falsity and agreed to withdraw and correct the meritless allegation. So they said even in some of their legal back and forth, Drake has actually agreed to take that piece out. See declaration of Roland A. Ransom. We're going to have to pull that up. Despite this concession, Drake has refused to actually amend the complaint to withdraw the admittedly false allegations. So although they do have a private agreement with Drake, he still has made no changes that reflect their agreement. What is left of the 349 claim, after subtracting the bogus stream manipulation theory, is equally spurious. As an initial matter, all of the remaining allegations are made on information and belief without stating the basis therefore. Drake has also received information that UMG engaged in a classic pay-for-play scheme by paying to increase the airplay of the recording on the radio. On information and belief, UMG employed a similar scheme by paying social media influencers to promote and endorse the recording and video. That's from Drake. This is, of course, improper pleading and warrants dismissal. Moreover, 349 requires a plaintiff to allege that he suffered an injury as a result of the deception. Yet, now that artificial streaming is out, Drake does not assert that any of UMG's other supposedly deceptive conduct injured him, save for putative misstatements concerning the popularity of Not Like Us on the radio. Plaintiff was separately injured as a direct and proximate result of defendant's deceptive acts and practices in the radio industry, because every time the recording was played, Drake lost the opportunity for one of his songs to be played. Oh, man. Hey, every time they played Not Like Us, they could have been playing something of mine. Bitch, please. But these allegations are insufficient. First, there is no consumer-oriented conduct. The deceptive act Drake alleges is that UMG marketed the recording as chart-topping, despite knowing that if it had paid third parties, including radio stations, to play and promote the recording. But his complaint alleges only that UMG marketed Not Like Us as chart-topping on its website for licensing on television and in film. Statements aimed at the television and film industry concerning licensing rather than consumers are not consumer-oriented conduct. Because remember, you're not talking about the general public as a consumer. When you're talking about the licensing, you're talking about film producers and music supervisors that are searching for music, right? They're consuming music to exploit it for, commercial use, but not so much as to like market it to consumers to drive more sales. Although once you use it in a licensing situation, probably is going to drive sales, but the way that it's being constructed and marketed and given to the people are vastly different, right? They say no consumer-oriented conduct when deception was directed solely at persons interested in obtaining licenses for the operation of taxi cabs, not taxi consumers, and did not concern products or services. So this is a reference to something else that happened. Second, Drake does not allege that this statement was deceptive or misleading in a material way. Drake never alleges, nor could he, that Not Like Us would not have been chart-topping had it not been for the alleged payments at issue, nor does he include any allegations as to why the chart-topping claim would be material in any event. It's a chart-topping song. They should be able to say it's a chart-topping song. Why would they not? Third, Drake's allegations of injury and causation are lacking. Drake's theory that every time the recording was played, Drake lost the opportunity for one of his songs to be played, which he really believes that UMG basically did a plug and play with his ass. Every opportunity that we generally would offer for Drake, we're going to put Kendrick Lamar here and delete Drake out of it and not give him any opportunities, which would be false because Family Matters was also played on the radio. The problem is it wasn't made for radio, therefore it didn't have a very long life on radio, and you lost. Why would we continue to play the losers diss track when we have the winners? Nor does Drake allege that any lost radio opportunities were the result of any supposed UMG misstatements about the song's popularity, which means that he does not allege an injury that is a result of the deception at issue. For all these reasons, Drake's 349 claim fails. In conclusion, for all of the foregoing reasons, plaintiff's complaint should be dismissed with prejudice. Once again, with prejudice means that it cannot be revisited if the judge rules in favor. Okay? So that's just part of what UMG has in store for us. So here is the Protect Black Art petition that Drake signed back in 2021, in which he literally, came out and advocated for the protection of rap lyrics to not be used in courtrooms, right? So this is the petition. It says, in courtrooms across America, the trend of prosecutors using artists' creative expression against them is happening with troubling frequency. Regardless of the medium, music, the visual arts, writing, television, film, fans implicitly understand that creative expression is rooted in what artists see and hear. It's a reflection of the times we live in. The final work is a product of the artist's vision and imagination. Rappers are storytellers, creating entire worlds populated with complex characters who can play both hero and villain. But more than any other art form, rap lyrics are essentially being used as confessions in an attempt to criminalize black creativity and artistry. For example, currently in Georgia's Fulton County, numerous members of YSL record label, led by Grammy-winning artist Jeffrey Lamar Williams, aka Young Thug, are facing more than 50 allegations, including RICO charges, that the label is a criminal gang. The allegations rely heavily on the artist's lyrics, which prosecutors claim are overt evidence of conspiracy. In the indictment, Fulton County prosecutors argue that lyrics like "I get all types of cash, I'm a general" are a confession of criminal intent. The use of lyrics against artists in this way is un-American and simply wrong. Beyond the obvious disregard for free speech and creative expression promoted by the First Amendment, this racially targeted practice punishes already marginalized communities and their stories of family struggle, survival, and triumph. Now, they say it's un-American, but I guess so is Drake, if we're going to be all the way technical about it. So maybe he says, fuck that shit. I signed it back in 2021, but 2025, I feel different, ho. I'm not an American. Then he proceeds to turn on Joyner Lucas, I'm not racist. I don't know. But as you can see, these are all the labels and distribution companies that signed on in support of this, which is basically the entire music industry. And then we've got individual artists who have allowed their names to be put, and also executives in the music industry who have allowed their names to be put in broad daylight. You got 2 Chainz, 21 Savage, 50 Cent, A Boogie. You got Anthony Sally, who's also being brought up in here because he's Kendrick's manager. Alicia Keys. All these people, right? Alphabetical order. And what do you know? DJ Khaled, DJ Drama, Drake. Okay? We're not going to stay here too long. Just know we got Elliott Wilson and a whole host of other motherfuckers in here. Now, in Exhibit B, they have the lyric sheet to Drake's song Back to Back, in which he scathingly dissed Meek Mill. We're not going to go through all the lyrics from Back to Back, but they're using his lyrics as evidence to say he's been engaging in lyrical rap battles for years. He knows what he's doing. He's been participating. There's violent references. There's scathing disses. There's hyperbole, incendiary language. He's been doing this long before this whole petition lawsuit situation was brought to anyone's attention. Therefore, get him the fuck out of here. And I love that they are sparing no resource to put this shit in broad view. Exhibit C, Duppy Freestyle. So they've got this nigga lyrics. You want to put lyrics? we'll give you all the lyrics that you can ask for, motherfucker. Every diss track you've released, we on your ass with it. Not gonna lie to y'all, man. I like this energy from UMG. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's gonna be people out there that try to say, yeah, of course you like this energy from UMG. You're a K-bot. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm an objective reporter here. Do I favor Kendrick Lamar over Drake? Yes, I've made that abundantly clear, stated that very, very long. However, when I feel like somebody's right, I'm going to say, I feel like you're right. When I feel like somebody's wrong, I feel like that person's wrong. That's the way it's been on my platform, period. If you drop a song, if you're an artist I love and you drop a song I don't like, I state it. If I feel like there's different modifications that could have been made that can make it better, I state it on my platform. Sometimes people come at me just for that. You know what I'm saying? So, nonetheless, my opinion is not going to change anything that's happening in these legal filings. It's not going to change the approach that either party, Drake or UMG, are utilizing in their legal back and forth, in their feud. So it really doesn't matter what the fuck you or I have to say. We're all spectating. We're all watching this play out. But ultimately, the decision is going to be the judge and how they see this stuff. Will they toss it out? Will they allow it to proceed? I don't know. I don't have a hand in that. Okay? So you could be mad at me all you want. It's just going to be misguided energy. God bless you, though. Okay? Now, feel free to let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I'll be back with more content with y'all later. So I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.